Oh yes! Oh yes! Musical genius away! Hello there everybody and welcome to part 3 of Sonic Mania. Now here we are in a completely new zone, Studiopolis. Totally not named after the studio where they record the dialogue for the Sonic games. But it is a totally original zone, and yeah, this zone is so good. This zone is so good. Like, as the first real original zone in the game, this is so good. It's super well designed because, you know, the people who made this game really understood what made classic Sonic what it was back in the day, which was just, you know, all the momentum, all the good control, all of the good stuff. And you need levels that are designed around that. Well, the Sonic Mania team definitely found their way to make it work. And they really pulled it off. Especially with this zone. This is one of the first zones ever to be, you know, playable. I actually did play this, I did play this zone at a demo at PAX East, 2017, I think. Yeah, it was 2017. When the game was still being shown off. Like, thankfully there wasn't a long-ass line. It was hidden under a booth. Plug goes to Tails' channel for actually pointing me in the direction of where the demo was. Because I was actually hanging out with him and, I believe, the Completionist? At the Expo Hall. And they pointed me in the direction of where the Sonic Mania demo was. And I'm like, thank God. It's hidden under the HyperX booth where all the computer stuff was, because then I wouldn't be able to play one of the best games of 2017. And the demo they had, of course, was Green Hill and Studiopolis. Green Hill Act 1 and Studiopolis Act 1. Well, Act 1 minus, both of them minus the bosses, because I'm pretty sure they weren't even done yet. So, yeah. So, Studiopolis was one of the very first things I played. And that made me feel, you know, hopes. That made me feel hopes. And thankfully, all those hopes were answered. Either way, I'm completely ignoring the special stage that is playable right now, because Special Stage 7 is the really hard one. Yeah, it's just a really hard one that everybody remembers because it's the hardest one. And it's just, oh god. There are no guardrails. You can't fall off, because then, you know, like I said, blah blah blah, you won't have the opportunity to do that again, blah blah blah. And it's very easy to fall off, especially given the fact that you have to memorize, you know, all the stuff. So, yeah. Either way, we got all the emeralds, and there was a special ring down there, but we don't really need it anymore. At this point, whenever you find a special ring, if you have all the emeralds, it'll give you 50 rings at this point. And whenever you do get 50 rings with all the emeralds, you can turn into your super form. Which, thankfully, don't touch that item box, by the way. That'll make you lose all your rings. Which, by the way, that little icon at the top right of the screen, you can thank a content patch for that. Because I think the PC version, even though it was delayed, it had this naturally. I think. I think it did. I mean, I have the Steam version, but I'm not sure if it had it naturally. But basically, it was really annoying to turn into your super form, no matter what character you were. So, thank God they added a button. A dedicated, you know, super form button. Because all you really need to do is jump into the end and then press the button. There's no way to revert, however. Either way, this boss fight is sort of like how Sonic Advance 2 boss fights work. Where you're just constantly moving around. But what you have to do is, you have to hit the blue missile, and the missile just basically attempts to, you know, destroy one of the egg robos that are killing this dude. Which, this brings us to Eggman's main lackeys for this game, called the Hard-Boiled Heavies. I'm not sure what this one is called, but I'm gonna call him Police Cop. So Police Cop basically launches all these missiles. Don't hit the red ones. Only hit the blue ones. And you have this really jamming track too. Either way, you do this 4 times and then you're all good. If the blue missile's on top of, you know, the order of what he shoots out, then that usually goes first. If it's at the bottom, then he shoots third and middle is second. Also, I could have sworn I should have kept moving there, but okay. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it like that, so that's A-okay. Alright, Act 2 time. So now this is more like a primetime show thing, and yeah, just gotta say, I also love the theme of Studiopolis too. Like, the first act is all a big city dedicated to Eggman. And the second one is dedicated to, like, a... I would probably have to say an Eggman Lifetime show, I guess. I don't know. Eggman Primetime show or Eggman Talk show or whatever. With all the things that a studio has, like, you know, the applause sign that we briefly saw. Like, all these cameras, all these badniks that take photos. That basically the paparazzi. So that's pretty cool. Either way, don't hit those badniks whenever they're electrified because, you know, they hurt. They very much hurt. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to show off Super Tails. If I can ever, like, get 50 rings. Because you do need 50 rings in order to use the super form if you have all the emerald. Nope, we're not doing this. Like I said, I'm only showing up Blue Sphere once. And if I accidentally do it, then I'll purposely screw myself. That's what I do. Either way, just let yourself go here. Wait, no, don't let yourself go here because... because don't. Because don't. Either way, got 50 rings. Super Tails! You go Super Sap. It doesn't change color, unfortunately. But what he's really missing is his flickies. That's really the only thing that, you know, they could have added with the advent of DLC or content patches. Like, where's his birds? Because, okay, so in Sonic Mania, well, in Sonic Mania, it's basically proven that Tails doesn't need the Super Emeralds from Sonic 3 and K in order to transform into, you know, his super form anymore. That's cool. But it probably comes at the cost of his flickies. Because in Sonic 3 and K, whenever you needed to go Super Tails, you need to get all the Super Emeralds in order to go Super Tails. And the best thing about Super Tails was the fact that he had this invincible flicky army that just basically kills everything. And I don't understand why they felt the need to remove this. I don't get it. So probably because of that, like, Tails is just basically a glorified invincibility and speed boost at this point. So, eh? And by the way, the Super Emeralds are not in this game. Contrary to what you might think, and contrary to what DLC might add, no. They're not in this game. Either way, there's really no danger for me at all. This is probably going to be the only time I ever show off, you know, super forms, by the way. But I'm going to play this boss normally like I would. So this boss basically has you dealing with weather forecasts and junk. Whenever it gets all sunny like that, that means you have to go under Eggman in order to avoid him. In order to avoid that attack. Whenever it goes all stormy like this, that basically means you have to dodge the lightning. And if he ever gets to get to a point where he does this, I mean, if it's the next one, then, you know, yay. Okay, good. And, right here, he'll create a gust of wind, which you have to hold on to this thing for. By the way, I want you to listen very closely to the sound. As you know, the thing goes on. Listen to the buzzing in the background. That buzzing, believe it or not, by the way, this is a really cool transition to Flying Battery, our next zone. That buzzing noise is actually from the very poorly done Sonic 25th Anniversary stream. Because basically, the whole point of that stream, of that 25th Anniversary stream, was to, you know, celebrate, you know, 25 years of Sonic while also announcing Mania and Forces at the same time. But the thing that everybody remembers from that, and I wish I was there to see this because I didn't really pay attention to it until after the fact, was the fact that there was this buzzing noise all over, all around the stream. And that buzzing noise that we just heard was almost throughout the entire stream. And it was just so annoying. Really, really annoying. You can look it up on YouTube if you can. Because, well, that whole stream was just an audio disaster from what I heard. And the folks over at Sonic Mania decided to put that in as a joke. Also, that 8TV date that you probably just saw right there, that basically was the date that Sonic Mania got announced. And also the day that Sonic Forces got announced, so yeah, either way. Flying Battery Zone from Sonic & Knuckles returns, as that breaking news stated. Let me put it this way. Flying Battery, I know, like, one of my friends can't stand, but this is a much better Wing Fortress. Come on! This is, to me, a much better version of Wing Fortress. In fact, this is what Wing Fortress from Sonic 2 should have been. Not a really confusing mishmash of, you know, plain chickens and level design. No. A really, really awesome level with really great design and great music. That is some of my favorites from Sonic and Knuckles. It's just a really great level. I have no qualms with this. I have absolutely no qualms against this level. I just love it that much. And by the way, if you have the electric shield, then perfect, because you'll be able to stick onto those walls. And now I don't have it anymore. I'm sad. I am very, very sad. Come on, Tails. I know you can make it further than that. Come on. You could, well, actually, no. There's actually no way you can fly infinitely in Sonic. As Tails. No. Not even in that Chow gun would you be able to fly infinitely. No siree. Either way, garbage can. Your goal here is to defeat the trash compactor from Star Wars. And when it's not zapping, that's your opportunity to attack. But thankfully, as Tails is the, well, designated easy mode of this game, because, well, I wanted to play as Tails anyway. Well, you can just hit it with your tails. Simple as that. So, yeah. This song. I just needed to let you hear that. Because this is one of my all-time favorite, like, tracks in this game. honestly, and for truly, this is one of my favorite, you know, T-Lope's rearrangements of, you know, any classic Sonic song. And oh my god, this song is so good. This is just a really great, you know, like T-Lope's, man, he does a really, really great job with remixing these songs. He really does. Also, my wildest fantasies come true because, okay, true story. I actually imagined in my crazy warped little head, in my crazy warped little imagination, that, you know, someday I would be able to see Flying Battery in a thunderstorm. Because, you know, I kept thinking back to New Super Mario Bros. And how it handled its final airship level in New Super Mario Bros. U, and that was really great. That was a great level. I don't know why people sleep on that game! I would probably imagine Flying Battery in the same way, and lo and behold, there it is. Here it is. Flying Battery in a thunderstorm. My dreams come true. While this awesome track played. So that's another cool bonus. Oh, I want to get that bubble shield, no! Either way, yeah. You'll also notice that, speaking of Wing Fortress, you also have the chickens from, the accursed chickens from Wing Fortress Zone coming back. And also I got speed up shoes. Lets you temporarily increase your speed. Nah, it doesn't matter. That special ring was worthless to me. Well, because I had, well, I have all the emeralds anyway. Also, I have like 14 lives right now. Yep. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually go to a pathway that shows this. In fact, I probably also missed it entirely. In fact, I'll probably just show that off whenever we get done with Flying Battery here. Is that Flying Battery Act 2 also makes allusions to the 8-bit Sonic games too. Yeah, believe it or not, the 8-bit games are also represented in some form or fashion. Which, I'll point out the obvious one, but I'll also point out the really, really cool ones too. But as tradition in Flying Battery, you have those poles that you have to swing across, and you have to press A at the right time in order to get across. That's cool, and awesome, and fun, and stuff. So that's really cool. I probably imagine I would probably get to actually show off. Oh god, actually show off the thing that I wanted to show off here at the bottom path, because generally the thing I was talking about was is usually at the bottom path. In fact, it's right here. Skybase, baby. Skybase Zone from 8-bit Sonic 1. Yeah, you see those little electric thingy? You see those things right there? Sometimes they can induce electricity, or, you know, give out electricity, or whatever the saying is. And I always miss those because there was a ton of power-ups right there. And wow. I was about to make a cool reference like, oh, that's cool. They brought back, you know, Skybase Zone a little bit from, you know, 8-bit Sonic 1 on the Game Gear and Master System. And, you know, that was about to be all cool, but no. The fact that I missed the power-ups again was, oh, God. Either way, this boss, a lot of people get really confused on this boss, but when you get really down to it, it's actually not really that hard of a boss at all. Because what you have to do here is, this is the egg spider. I call it the egg spider. I don't know why I call spiders spiders now. But basically what you have to do is you have to knock Robotnik into the spikes. And you can't knock him anywhere but the huge ball with the star on it. Which, you know, thank you, Eggman, for making that, or Robotnik, whatever. Robotnik. For making it really obvious, by the way. Very pleased with yourself. And, yeah. And I can understand people getting frustrated with this boss a little bit because, well, Flying Battery Act 2 is probably like one of the longer stages anyway. So, yeah. And by the time they figure it out, they already get a time over, which this game still has, by the way. If you go over 10 minutes. Yeah. Either way, transition added thanks to a patch. Thank you, Gliders from 8-Bit Sonic 2. Thank you for adding those in, for adding in a transition to our next original zone, which we will stop on. Which we halt all progress on here for now. So with that, all is well and good in the universe. Next time on Sonic Mania, we're going through our next 2 zones on our grand journey of Sonic Mania. And yes, I call it Sonic Mania, not Sonic Mania, because duh. I call it because duh. Either way, see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.